You know, teaching is a tough job, often for not enough pay. And now one middle school teacher here in Pennsylvania is in hot water for moonlighting at another gig. During the day, 36-year-old Kevin Bean teaches 5th and 6th grade at the Springford Intermediate School, where he's taught since 2004. As a matter of fact, a mom who called my SiriusXM radio show this week sang his praises as the faculty advisor of her son's chess club. But at night, he becomes Blitzkrieg the German juggernaut. In what's kind of the minor leagues of wrestling, here's a clip of him from a June match in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. As you can see, he comes in waving a flag with a German Iron Cross. He shouts Sieg Heil, Blitzkrieg, and raises his arm in Nazi salute. He's been doing this shtick for years, but then the founder of a website called Pro Wrestling Sheet, Ryan Satin, who used to work at TMZ and presumably knows a good story when he sees one, waved the PC flag when he tweeted the video and said, quote, "This video makes me sick. Watching the guy do Nazi salutes on his way to the ring while children in the crowd cheer him on like a good guy is terrifying." Well, you can guess what happened next. Local school officials were apparently unaware of the other gig. After they found out, they launched an investigation into his future at the school. They released a statement that said this: Springford Area School District was made aware of a video featuring an employee outside of the school setting participating in an amateur wrestling event. Once administrators were made aware of the video, they acted immediately to conduct an internal investigation. The actions portrayed in this video do not represent the core values of the school district. Now, full confession, I am a product of the 1970s, and a big part of my misspent youth was watching pro wrestling. Saturday mornings, my brother and I used to sit on these hideously colored green beanbag chairs in our rec room with paneling from Kmart all around us, looking at a TV set that only got 7 channels. And when we watched it, we were watching pro wrestling, which we loved to imitate. These were the days when Vince McMahon really was a pencil neck geek. There were good guys, there were bad guys, and much like today's political conversation, there was no in between. You knew you were for one side or the other. My personal favorite was Chief Jay Strongbow. And when my brother and I would wrestle after watching, I would do Chief Jay's war dance. I think I can still do it. But there's a long tradition of cartoonish bad guys, a villain for the crowd to boo, like the Sheikh, a Syrian character who would enter the ring wearing a Bedouin-style headdress, and before matches, he would nail on a prayer rug. The moonlighting teacher was a more recent incarnation, and maybe he played the role too well for some. The Post pointed out that the issue here may have been more about the audience than the teacher performer. Quote, "Blitzkrieg appeared to elicit more cheers from the crowd than his opponent, Cody Rose. While he paraded around the ring waving the Iron Cross flag, many applauded. One man could even be seen extending his arm in a Nazi salute. A young boy held up a sign that proclaimed Blitzkrieg rules, and another fan's sign read Blitzkrieg Herrscher aller Menschen, which translated means Blitzkrieg, ruler of all people. As Blitzkrieg prepared to enter the ring, chants of USA and Trump's America filled the room." So is that the real issue here? Let us not forget that in an earlier life, the president made a famous cameo in pro wrestling himself. Is Kevin Bean responsible for the crowd turning his villain character into a hero? When I asked my radio audience whether a school teacher who moonlights as a wrestler pretending to be a Nazi sympathizer is necessarily unfit to teach, 2/3 of them said he's fine to have both jobs. And I think that's the correct answer. Absent evidence that the teacher really harbors and acts on such appalling views, and let me be clear, there's none of that evidence here, he ought to keep his job. And young minds should continue to boo his character.